Um, welcome back to the East Coast time zone. All right, ladies, go ahead and reach those hands all the way up overhead for me. Big reach up towards that ceiling. Gaze goes all the way up, and then go ahead and dive those hands down to your mat. Reach down towards those toes. Hang there nice and heavy, and then slowly restack that spine to the top. Hands come up overhead one more time. Big reach up. Gaze goes towards that ceiling. Dive those hands all the way back down, and then really give yourself a nice little soft bend in those knees, but reach hinging forward, releasing anything in your lower back and your neck. Grab those opposite elbows, start to give yourself that rock from side to side, just for a couple more, and then come back through center, release those elbows, slowly rolling yourself up to the top for me, and then hands are gonna come right behind your head. Go into that good morning stretch, feeling those hamstrings getting a nice little release right there. Stretch in the back of those legs, thinking to yourself as you're in this movement, I want you to really feel that hinge in your hips, and then your top half, that chest will come forward. About 10 more seconds right here. You're gonna start by weight. I'm fine if you have your Balas on, but you don't need to pick up any weights. We've got a nice little split squat series to start, getting those legs nice and warm right here. We're gonna go back and forth, legs and arms, legs and arms. We're gonna do 3 rounds of it. Give me 5 more seconds in your good morning stretch for 3 and 2, and then meet me standing. You're gonna come towards the top of your mat. Right leg is gonna go back here. And then what I want you to do is you're gonna bring your hands to prayer as you bring right knee down to kiss that mat, stand up nice and tall. Bring your arms back, squeeze your triceps. So it's nice and slow. I want you to think of a 2 count down, 2 count up. Right knee comes and kisses that mat, and then you stand back up with control. I'm fine if your knee doesn't quite touch that mat, but what I want you to think about here is you're not leaning backwards. You're really trying to think about everything staying stacked. So left knee comes right over left ankle, right knee comes right down to that ground. I don't want you to lock out your front knee. Take this slow, this first series. So you're coming down on that 2 count, lift and squeeze. Keep a soft bend in that left knee, squeeze your right cheek, and then you're gonna come back down. Good. You've got about 15 more seconds here. It's slow and controlled. Down on that 2 count on an inhale, exhale, lift and squeeze. Yes, this is some quad work right here. What I want you to think about as you're coming into this motion is you're not going to be hinged too far. You're trying to stay relatively straight and upright, but a hint of a hinge is fine. 5 more seconds right here. You're going to come about halfway down in 4, in 3, good, 2, on 1, meet me at the top. Now I want you to think down 2-3 inches right here. So that knee is hovering above that mat for me. Your belly button gets pulled in, shoulders are gonna relax right here. Hands will come to prayer. Now I just want you to pulse up an inch and down an inch. You should feel that nice stretch and burn happening in your quad. Keep your tailbone tucked under. You're just giving me that up an inch and down an inch. You are going to feel a burn here. It's 3 changes each side. You only have 1 hold left. You're going to want to stand up. I want you to stay in that pulse. It's only 1 inch. I need you to breathe. Don't clench your jaw. You've got this. 8 and 7. The hold is the hardest part. You have it in 6. Good. In 5, you hold in 4. Breathe. 3 and 2. Freeze. Final 15 seconds right here. You're going to stand up. I want you to press those palms together. Take the big inhale. On the exhale, slight tuck of your tailbone. Drive through that left heel. You have this. You hit a right side reverse lunge. You're going to stand all the way up. You're out of your split squat in 5, 4, good, 3 and 2 on 1. Big lift, lower back down. So you're in that reverse lunge now just to push out that leg. It's only 15 seconds. I'd like the knee lift if you can. Burn out that leg, squeeze your left cheek right here. Hold on to it, just 10 seconds right here. Bringing that right knee down, driving that knee up. 8 and 7, beautiful. 6 and 5, you're right there. 4 and 3, final 2, meet me at the top. Big lift of those hands up overhead, reset. Heart rate just came up there a little bit. Bring your gaze up towards that ceiling. Yep. Now dive those hands down to your mat. Release your lower back. Hang there for 3. Good. In 2, we roll ourselves up. Slowly roll yourself up right here. Just releasing that back. Big inhale. On that exhale, bring that left foot back. You go into that split squat. So I want you to pray at that bottom and then bring your hands back and squeeze your triceps at the top. So that left knee kisses the mat, and then really squeeze your triceps at the top of that range. Lift and squeeze, lower with control. I want these slow on purpose. You're gonna get another round, don't worry, there's 2 rounds of this. What I need you to think about, heart rate started to come up. Your left leg was stabilizing on your other side, so it should be warm right here. So as you drop that left knee down towards that mat, it's barely gonna kiss that mat, and then you're gonna lift back up with control. Drive through your right heel and don't lock out that right knee at the top. If you lock that knee out, you're taking a break. You don't want that. I want you to think about that small little bend, just like you would at the top of a push-up or a plank. Don't lock out your elbows, just like you wouldn't lock out your knees. You have 10 seconds left here. Down on that 2 count, lift up and squeeze on that 2 count. You got it. 8 and 7. Your balance is going to start to come into play here. Driving through that right heel. I need everyone to come to the top, and then you're going to sink down just that 3 inches, about halfway down in 5, 4, good, 3. We hit those pulses here in 2. Start at the top of your range. Think about those couple inches down. Knee hovers above that mat. You're not on a tightrope, so open those feet up, bring hands to prayer, and really be deliberate in those pulses down. So you're thinking about tailbone tucked under, squeeze that glute. Your right knee is right over top of that right ankle, and your belly button is pulled in. I want this just as much in your core, a little stretch in that hip flexor as your quad gets ready to burn out right here. 10 seconds left in that pulse. The hardest part is that hold, because your mind is telling you you want to stand. You're not going to let yourself. 8 seconds right here. You've got 7 and 6. Hold on to it. 5. Beautiful. 4 and 3. Good. 2. Everyone holds right here. Just freeze. Take the big inhale, drive through that right heel. Can you keep that knee hovering? This is where that shake comes into play. Tuck tailbone under, squeeze your glutes and trust your body. You have it. 10, 9, reverse lunge on that left side. Add that knee lift here in 5, good. 4, final 3 and 2, reverse lunge with that knee lift. All the way up, lift, squeeze. Lower down, all the way up, lift, squeeze. You better squeeze that right cheek with everything that you have for me. Good. Big lift all the way to the top of that range. You've got it. From here, you're coming to the top of your mat. You are going down into a plank. It's a minute with 2 changes. You're going to be fine. Leave your computers where they are, because you're going to stand back up after this. I need you to give me 5 more seconds here. 4 more in that lunge. 3 more. Good. 2 on one knee at the top of that mat. Hands reach up overhead. Good. Now dive those hands down to your mat and walk your feet back for me. Find your nice tall plank. Or high plank, I should say, tall, high, long, whatever word we want to use here. I want you to lift your hips into that downward dog and give me an alternating toe tap. So you're going to lift into that downward dog and you're going to tap opposite heels. I'll set myself up to show you if you don't know what I mean. What I want you to do is, as you lift your hips up, you're just going to tap opposite foot. So you lift up, left hand comes to that right toe, come back to center. Right hand comes to that left foot. So we're going to just get some abs and some shoulder work in right here. Tap opposite toe each time, and then you come back to center for me. Good. You have 15 seconds left in these. You can go as slow or as fast as you want to, but I need your hips to stay square. You are coming into your hand release push-ups in 8. In 7, hand release, I need a squeeze of your shoulder blades before you push yourself up. In 3, set yourself back up into your plank. In 2, in 1, option to drop to those knees. You're going to lower down, big lift and squeeze of your shoulder blades, press yourself back up. Goal is 10 right here. What I need you to think to yourself in this movement is lift your arms, your hands up, squeeze your shoulder blades. You're not just releasing your hands and pressing right back up. Make it count in that back and that chest. You have about 15 seconds right here. They're not a slow up and down here. Hand release, exhale, press. Hand release, exhale, press. Give me 8 seconds. You're back in a plank in 7. In 6, you're right there. 5, 4, finish them nice and strong. Just find that plank, then downward dog in 3, in 2, in 1, lift your hips up, find that first rest. Bend that right knee, pressing through that left. Bend that left, pressing through that right. You're welcome to pedal out those knees for a second. Take your time. We just do this series one more time with a couple changes. Walk your feet in to meet your hands in to meet your feet, and slowly roll yourself to the top. Extra challenge this round is to grab those weights for me. So bring your weights into your hands. Just a little bit of a challenge. You do not have to This is about your legs, not your arms. So if you start to get out of breath, just drop those weights. You're gonna come to the center of that mat. Your weights are in your hands now. Big inhale here for me. Step back with that right leg. You're gonna come down into that split squat, lift up and squeeze. Come down on that 2 count again, lift up and squeeze. Your weights are just in your hands here. So just hold them down. I know these are light weights. If anyone has heavier weights and you wanna put them in your hands, you're welcome to. Once we get into that pulse and that hold, we'll start to use those arms. So trust that I'll get your heart rate up there for you. 15 seconds here. I want these slow. Shoulders are relaxed. Now what's going to happen with the weight, it's going to start to want to roll you forward a little bit. Roll shoulders back and just drive your knee down to that ground. Think about the foundation you did in that first set. You're driving through that left heel. You're not locking out your knees. You are squeezing your glutes to get you back to the top, and then you come down with control. You're going to start adding 3 pulses at the bottom, and then you stand and squeeze. So we're not taking that break. What I want you to think about is you're going to come down, 2, 3, stand and squeeze those glutes. Weights are still down at your side. Lift and squeeze. Good. Down, 2, 3, lift and squeeze. You're not racing through this. These pulses are just as important. You're thinking squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, then stand nice and tall. Couple more in right here. You have 15 seconds. You stay at the bottom of your range for me right after this. You're right there. Big inhale. 4 changes in this second round. You only have 2 to go. You have this. You're there. Everybody breathe for me. You're at the bottom of your range in 5, 4, good, 3, and 2. Hold at the bottom of your range. Take those weights, open those arms out into that T, and then find your goal post position for me. Goal post position, you've got this. You're gonna lift up, bring arms together. You lower down, arms separate. You rotate arms down, back up, and then you stand. 2 movements here. Open arms out, rotate them down in that isometric hold, then lift and squeeze. Open arms up, you rotate them down, rotate them back up, lift and squeeze. 2 motions with your arms, 1 with your legs. So when you lift up in that split squat, your arms, think to yourself, they close when you stand, open when you lower, just to give yourself that isometric hold. You're giving yourself that nice rotation. 2 movements, leg is going to get nice and warm right here. You have 1 change left. I know you have it. Think to yourself, pretend like you're squeezing that big beach ball at the top. Like, can you squeeze it? Open. We rotate. We've got about 8 seconds left right here. 7, 6, good. 5, 4, final 3. Stay at that bottom for me in 2. Last 1, arms open up to that side. Yes, you can. I want you to turn palms away from you and towards me, behind and in front. Isometric hold in your legs. All you're doing is rotating your arms, firing up those shoulders. You're out of this in 15 seconds. Can you breathe for me right here? Can you lower that knee a hint? Can you tuck your tailbone under, drive through that left leg? You're standing up nice and tall for me in 5, in 4, in 3. You got this. 2, arms come down to your side, legs come together. Go right into your bicep curls right here. Legs are right underneath you, feet are right underneath you. Go into your curl. Good. Lower, lift, squeeze. Lower, lift, squeeze. Feels a little bit different with those weights in your hands as we add those shoulders in that second round. Good. Lift and lower. You're right there. Lift, lower. What I want you to think about is the squeeze in your triceps and then those biceps. You've got about 15 seconds left in this curl, just getting those arms ready for that next round. You've got it. 10 and 9, 8 and 7, beautiful. 6 and 5, you're right there. 4 and 3, last 2 on 1. Release those arms. Everyone take a big roll of your shoulders to the back of that room, big roll of those shoulders to the front of your room. Left leg comes back for me. Weight stay at your side. Down on that 2 count again, lift and squeeze to the top. Down on that 2 count, lift and squeeze. Weights are just at your side. Good. Lower, lift and squeeze. If anyone wants to add that front raise in, if you just want to really knock out those shoulders, you're welcome to. Lower, down, lift and squeeze, all the way back to the top. Lower, down, lift and squeeze, come back to the top. When we add those pulses in, just keep your arms at your side because we've got some shoulder work. So I just want you to let them have a little bit of a rest. 8 seconds here. Think about your form. 2 counts down, 2 counts up. This is not fast. It's not fast. You could have such a heavy weight with these. I'm loving these split squats. We're doing them right now in our lift class, holding some very heavy weights. So I know these 2 pounds feel like nothing, but this is about form. It's about where are you squeezing. I need you to add those 3 pulses and keep your arms down at your side. And 3 and 2, add those 3 pulses at the bottom. 3 and 2 on 1 big lift and squeeze. Drive through your front heel. Don't lock out that leg. Think about when you inhale, you lower, you pulse at the bottom, exhale, contract your abs, stand up towards that top. You've got it. About 15 seconds left. Make sure as you come to the bottom and you're adding those pulses and tailbone stays tucked under, you're breathing through it. Don't clench your jaw. I want you to give me about 2 more. You've got about 10 seconds. You've got time to get those 3 pulses in 2 more times for me before we hold at the bottom of that range. You've got it. 5, 4, keep breathing. You've got 3. In 2, you hold at the bottom. In 1, come all the way down for me. Beautiful. From here, lift those arms out to the side. Turn those palms towards me. Find that goalpost position. You've got it. We stand, squeeze those arms together. We open up. This time I want you to give me a high hammer curl. You lift, squeeze those arms together, open them at the bottom, reach those arms long, come back in to the goalpost position. So instead of finding that rotation, this time I want you to reach those arms long and then bring them back in towards center in that nice 90-degree angle. If you do not squeeze those arms, squeeze those muscles, you will not feel this. You'll wonder what I have you doing. Full range right here. You've got it. We're coming into that hold at the bottom in about 15 seconds. Everyone's breathing. You're out of your split squats after this. Nice little movements in those quads as we lengthen and tone and lean them out. Final 8 and 7. Make sure you give yourself a big reach. You come back into that goalpost position, squeeze those arms together, and you're going to meet me at the bottom of your range on this next one in 3 and 2. Reach those arms out for me. Little bend and press to finish. Little bend and press. Can you give me that nice hover of that knee? Do not stand. You can do this. You should be shaking right here. Little bend and press. 10 seconds in that bend and press, which means I know you have it. We stand up nice and tall. Second round in those abs. It's a little bit different on this, or plank, I should say. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Drop arms down before you stand in 3. In 2, arms come down to your side, feet come together. Fine if you leave your weights in your hands for a second. Drive those hands down to your mat. Step yourself back into your plank for me and hold. Step yourself back into your plank and hold. You can set those weights to the side if you didn't already. From here, we're going to add those 2 movements together. So you're going to tap right ankle with that left hand. Left ankle with that right, and then you're going to give me a push up right here. So you're welcome to drop to your knees in between and then lift them back up. You tap right hand to left ankle, coming into that nice downward dog, so those hips lift. So you're getting abs right here, shoulders, then you hit that push up. Excuse me. What I want you to think about in this movement is your hips as they lift, it's your abs. It's like there's a string pulling your belly button towards that ceiling. And then you can reach towards your shin, you can reach towards your toes, whatever you can find. Then come back into that plank. Don't cheat yourself of that foundation. Come back into your plank and then give yourself that 2 count down, 2 count up, push up with control. 15 seconds left in this movement. You have it. Second change is going to be fun. You've got plank up downs and then you find a child's pose and you're out of that first series. Everyone breathe. 10 seconds left right here. Can you get 2 to 3 more rounds right in? You tap right ankle, plank. You tap left ankle, plank, and then you give me that push-up. Everyone, last one right here. 5 and 4. Find your plank. You're going right into those plank up downs. I know your shoulders are tired. At 3, extra challenge. And 2, find that nice plank position. Open up your feet. Option to drop to your knees. You lower down for 2, lift and squeeze for 2. Alternating sides every time that you come up and you go down. Those hands replace where your elbows are. Breathe for me. You have a child's pose in 20 seconds, which means I need you to fight through the burn happening in your shoulders and those abs. Breathe for me, ladies. 10, 9, 7, and 6. Child pose in 5. Do not end early. 4, 3, 2, rest. Beautiful. Knees are going to open up nice and wide. Press your seat back towards your heels and take a big inhale here for me. Take that big inhale. Really big breath. And I want you to reach your forearms, your fingertips towards the edge of your mat. You've got it.
When you're ready, come into that all four position. I'll give you a chance to move that computer in a second. Spread fingertips out nice and wide and find that cat-cow. Drop belly button down, look up to see where that ceiling meets the wall, and then roll through, tucking tailbone under. Give me one more cat-cow each side, and then you can come in down and move that computer. We are going to go into some abs on the mat. Weights are down there at the side for you, so you have those as the extra challenge as we get into it. You've got 2 rounds in your abs, first round without weights, second round with your weights. If you want to break from your balas, you're welcome to take them off, or you can leave them on for the extra challenge as we get into abs. Hopefully full body is warm right here. Your feet are going to come flat on your mat for me, and I want you to bring your hands behind your head. Open your elbows up nice and wide. Just take a big breath. Exhale, lift up on that 2 count. Then you reach towards your knees. You give me 2 pulses at the top of that range. Hands come back behind your head, lower down. So you're lifting up with control, getting to the top of those shoulder blades or bottom of those shoulder blades. You reach towards your knees, and then you're going to give me 2 pulses. Hands come back behind your head and you lower down. Think about where the isometric hold is happening. Your elbows stay wide. When you lift up into that crunch, I almost want you to think about tucking your tailbone, pressing lower back into the mat, the bottom of your brow line. You can get to that. So you lift up as high as you can. Then you reach to get up even higher. You give yourself 2 pulses, pulling that lower back in. You stay lifted as hands come back behind your head, lower down. 15 seconds left right here. It's a basic movement, but if you breathe and contract those abs, the top of your belly is going to get warm right into that center belly where your belly button is. Good. 8 seconds. 7 and 6. We don't stop. You keep going. You feel that warm. 5 and 4. 3, beautiful. 2, on 1, lower down. Take a big inhale here for me. Float those legs to tabletop. 1 more exhale, and then I want you to lift up and hold towards the top. Hold center for me. You've got it. Big inhale. You're going to reach towards your ankles. Keep holding. You're going to tap right toe down. Good. Tap left toe down. Hands come behind your head. 4 bicycles. Reach. 2, 3, 4, back to center. Don't lower head, neck, and shoulders. Tap right toe down, tap left toe down. Switch right, left, right, and left. If you need the break, you're going to give yourself a crunch. If not, I want you to keep fighting. I know these are hard. Switch. 2, 3, 4, 1 to go right here. Tap right toe down. Yes, you can. Tap left toe down. Then it's 4, 3, 2, 1, back to center. Lower head, neck, and shoulders. Reach hands up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. That was your break. Exhale, lift up, alternating dead bug. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, back to center. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, back to center for me. You should feel that burn migrating down your abs right here. You're going to lay all the way down. You have V-ups next. Hang on to this dead bug. If you need to lower head, neck, and shoulders, this is your moment to take that break. If not, I want you lifted, looking between those knees, challenging yourself. You're coming out of this dead bug. Legs go straight in front of you in 5, 4, perfect. 3, you can do this. 2, lower head, neck, and shoulders. Extend legs, go into your alternating V-ups. Think to yourself right here, my girls have been doing this. Extra challenge, you're gonna go into single legs. So both legs lift, both legs lower. Exhale, both legs lift, both legs lower, or alternate. If you can't keep your legs straight or you feel like you're digging into that lower back and it doesn't feel good, stay in your alternating V-up. I'd rather you get those legs up nice and high and feel like you're using your breath in your abs than pulling from back or shoulders. I need 10 seconds left from you, and then knees come into your chest. Yes, nice core. Everyone's breathing through this. 8 and 7, first rest in 6 and 5, final 4. You're right there, ladies. Last 3, 2, 1, rest. Knees come into your chest. Big inhale here. Give that lower back a little bit of a massage. Rock from side to side. Welcome to go into happy baby for a second. Some of you might want to go into a bridge for a second with that lower back. Weights are at your side. Changes are different this second round because we're going to add our weights in. So go ahead from here, grab those weights and reach them up overhead. I don't know what's in my throat today, but I still sound better than I have. From here, weights reach up towards the top. I want you to take a big inhale. On your exhale, reach those weights up towards the ceiling, lower down with control. Feet stay flat. Exhale, reach those weights up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower down. You've got it. Every time you lift straight up, think about those upper abs reaching those weights towards that ceiling, coming to the bottom of that brow line. You've got it. Big exhale and inhale. Big exhale and inhale. If it doesn't feel good, ditch the weights and just go into your regular crunch. Hold on to it for 5. Good. 4, 3, and 2. Lower down for me on 1. Float your legs to tabletop right here. Take a big inhale. Exhale, reach those weights towards your ankles, and now give me those little pulses up an inch and down an inch. Up an inch and down an inch. You're reaching the weights towards your feet. Balas or 2 or 3 pounds. If it's too much and you feel this in your neck, ditch the weights, go body weight. 10, 9, 8, you're right there. 7, fight for it. 6 and 5, nice. 4 and 3, final 2 on 1. Weights come up overhead again. Lower head, neck, and shoulders. Option to keep head, neck, and shoulders down. Option to lift up, alternating dead bug with weights in your hands. Exhale, lift, squeeze. Inhale to lower. What I need you to think about is the quality of this form. Exhale when you're pulling your legs back in. So inhale as you extend long and strong. Exhale as you drive that knee back to tabletop, pulling lower back into that mat, really thinking about the squeeze happening here. We finish with those alternating V-ups or those single V-ups, depends on if you have weights or what we're gonna do with that advanced movement. You have 8 seconds left here. Don't give up on it. If you haven't taken that break and you wanna lower your shoulders for a second, listen to your body. No break between those V-ups. 5, 4, breathe. 3 and 2 on 1, lower down, legs come long and strong. You can either squeeze those weights together as you lift up towards opposite leg, or you can ditch those weights. Up to you, but I need you in your V-ups right here. You get a break in 20 seconds. This is where I want you to dig a little bit deeper. Weights come down to your side. Final movement is those bicycles, and then we'll take a break in those abs. Big lift and squeeze. Nice. Aims, those look great too. All the way up, legs are pointed, arms are reaching, shoulders are nice and strong. 5 seconds, ladies. 4, finish it. 3, set those weights down to your side. I need you in your bicycles quickly. In 3, in 2, start with those knees at tabletop, hands behind your head. Ditch those weights and then twist, twist, twist. No tantrums. Full extension in those legs. Full extension in those legs. This is it. You rest in less than 20 seconds. Breathe. There's no weights. We go back into those legs and arms. So I need you to fight. Get your abs warm right here. Point through your toes. Can you get your elbow past your knee? Can you find that lift 1 inch higher? Final 10 and a rest. 9 and 8. Keep fighting. 7 and 6. You're right there. 5, 4, 3 and 2, 1. Rest. You're out of your abs. Big inhale, pull knees into your chest. Heart rate will have come up a little bit there. Big inhale and exhale. Nice. Take that sip of water if you need to. Roll yourself up to the top. And I need everyone to come into that all 4 position. Option to put Balas back on here. I want you to know we've got some donkey kick work here, some leg work, and I'm gonna bring you up to standing in between sides. We'll do it as gracefully as we possibly can. But I want you to just leave your computers on the mat. I'd rather see you there. I know you know how to do a squat, and I'll cue you through it. I want you to come into that nice all 4 position after you take that sip of water. Spread your fingertips out nice and wide. No props here unless you've got Balas on your ankles. Good. So go ahead and find that neutral spine for me. I want you to flex your right foot. You're going to lift that leg up, stamp the ceiling, drop that knee down. It's 3 really basic movements here. You're welcome to hold a weight behind that knee if you'd like to, but I want you to just remember your transition as we stand without that. So if you want the extra challenge, you can put a 2 or 3 pound weight behind your knee and Bala on your ankle. This is a basic movement. Bring your left hand to your left quad just to make sure you have that balance, or you can reach that hand out in front of you. I want you to think about hamstring and center booty right here. We hit those quads already when we were standing earlier. Flex your foot here. It's like you're stamping that ceiling. There's a platter on that bottom of that foot. I also want you to pretend like you've got a cup of water on that back. If you decide forearms is best for you here, you want to give those wrists a break, you're going to get a little bit more range of motion, and that's okay. I want you to really think about that breath. Reach and lower down. Keep that knee right to that center. You've got 10, 9, 8, and 7, good. 6, really squeeze, keep that heel towards your butt. 4, we're gonna open that leg out to the side, and 3, good. In 2, hold that leg down, you're opening up into that clamshell. Woo,
my hips just popped. It was like they've never done one of these before. Lower down with control, lift and squeeze. Lower down with control, lift and squeeze. So your hips stay square right here. You're not sinking into that left leg. In fact, if you can only come up a couple inches, that's okay too. Think to yourself, more of that weight is in your right hand. Notice I can put my left hand on that left quad and not go anywhere because my weight is evenly distributed here. I'm not sinking into anything. 15 seconds before we put those 2 movements together. It's 3 big movements. You have this. I know it's a basic movement, but if you squeeze correctly, you should feel center booty into outer thigh. In 8 seconds, we put them together, which means I want 1 donkey kick, 1 clamshell. Really right back to the basics here. I wish we were at a bar folded over. You know, these used to be my favorite. 5 seconds in 4, 3, 2. Now let's combo that movement. So you're going to give me 1 clamshell and then 1 of those donkey kicks. Now notice your knee is going to want to open up. So try to keep that foot facing that ceiling, knee centered through that body. I know left leg is firing up here a little bit. Really think to yourself about that squeeze. Can you get your heel any closer towards your seat? Exhale, lift and squeeze, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze, inhale, lower. You're doing great. You've got 10 seconds for me. You come back into that all 4 position in 8. We're going to transition nicely into standing. You have 3 changes in your squats before that opposite side. You're almost done with class. You've got this. 5, 4, 3, and 2. Go ahead and bring those knees right underneath you. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. You walk right foot in, left foot in, and you're going to slowly roll yourself to the top. Heels turned in, toes turned out. Go right into that body weight squat for me. Lower down, lift, squeeze. Lower down, lift and squeeze. Here's what I need you to think about. It's 3 changes. I love seeing your feet. Bring those heels in. Think about weight in your heels and then knees track right over those ankles. Some of you might have to open those feet about 2 inches wider just to make sure you're not going into those knees. Really sink back into that imaginary chair. Squeeze your glutes. Yep. Beautiful. Hold on to it just like in your split squat. Can you start adding 3 pulses in the bottom of that range and then lift all the way up? I want 3 pulses at the bottom of that range and then squeeze to lift for me. If you want that extra challenge, now is the time to add that heel lift at the top. So come onto the balls of your feet as you lift up and then drive your weight down into those 3 pulses. You only have 10 seconds left of this and you go into your final hold in those squats before we come back down to that mat. Start to get that heart rate up here. 3 pulses. As you lift up, press arms back, get those triceps, and come to the balls of those feet. Nice job. You're right there. Final 5. You're at the bottom of your range in 4, 3, 2. Come to the bottom of your range and hold. Bottom of your range and hold. Freeze. Watch your chest. I'd rather you come up higher. Lift chest. There it is. Nice. Beautiful, Kathleen. That's it. Lift that chest. Think about how proud you are. Shoulders are relaxed. 15 seconds, hands are going to drop down. You're going to walk feet back and you're going to be back in that all 4 position. 1 cat-cow stretch before that opposite side. Do not stand. Let me see that 1 inch lower. Yes, 3, in 2, drop hands down, walk feet back. Come into that all 4 position. Give yourself a cat-cow stretch. Heart rate just came up there a little and we wanted it to. If you are on your forearms, walk back down to them. I'm going to cue you on your hands, but fine if you're on your forearms. Flex through that left foot, lift that left leg, and bring that knee to a hover. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Don't cheat yourself with this work. I know we were really light on those arms today. We'll get a little heavier with them next week. Just, all that booty and ab work. Don't worry, we'll get everything. You've got about 10 seconds here. Can you challenge yourself to put that right hand on your quad or reach it forward? I want you to make sure you have that balance. Basic movement doesn't mean it's just a break for you. It means squeeze into that center booty. Pull your heel towards your seat. You're in your clamshell in 5, in 4, bring arms back down to set yourself up correctly in your clam. In 3, in 2, keep foot flex, open that leg and close. You're still able to bring that right hand to that left, or right hand to that right quad. But wouldn't that be funny if you just followed that left leg around? If you have your Balas on, you're gonna fire up quickly here, but think about hip flexors. I need this to stay in your outer thigh, that corner pocket of your booty, center booty. You're still keeping your foot flexed for me. Hold on to that movement. It looks good. In 8 seconds, you're gonna put the two together. You've got it. 7, 6, nice. 5, 4, let's put it together in 3, in 2. You're gonna give me 1 donkey kick, bringing that knee back down, 1 clamshell, challenge yourself with that balance, challenge yourself with that balance. Here we go, final 20 seconds in this movement. You stay on the mat for this last 3 minutes. 3 minutes is all I need from you right here. Breathe for me in this clamshell. 8, yep, 7. Every time you lift that leg, heel comes 1 inch closer. You've got 5, 4, 3, and 2. Last lift all the way up. Come back to center. You're still on your hands. They're underneath your shoulders. Drop forearms down, lift and squeeze. Drop those forearms down, lift and squeeze. Get those triceps. It's that last little bit of arms and abs right here at the end. Tap those forearms, squeeze your triceps. Your butt is going to want to move. Don't let your butt move right here. It's that one time where I'm letting you lock out your elbows at the top because I want you to squeeze your triceps. Trust me in these last 3 changes. I promise to get those arms warm, so don't cheat yourself on this movement. You're headed into plank up downs, which means you're going to walk your feet back or come to the meaty part of your knees in 5, 4, 3, and 2. Walk right foot back, left foot back. You lower down for 2, lift and squeeze for 2. Switch sides, down, 2, lift and squeeze. Anyone who needs a modification and those plank up downs are too much on your wrist, come on to that all forearm position and give me those reaches. I'm always fine with reaches in your shoulders. You have 15 seconds here. I know your heart rate's going to come back up, and I want it to. You have this. You're going to stay at the top of your range. You're hitting your shoulder taps in 10 seconds. All you have after this taps are your hold and your plank that you all know so well right now. 5 seconds, and I need shoulder taps. I know your shoulders will be done after this. 4, 3, at least it's not push-ups. 2, hit your shoulder taps. Here's where I need you to find that control. Do not let your hips move. I want you to zip up those abs. Zip them up, zip up. Don't let your glutes go any higher. In 5 seconds, you're in a forearm plank hold. In 4, in 3, in 2, everyone find your forearm plank hold. This is it. This is it. That's how I know you have it. Everyone's on their toes because you can. I want you to take a big inhale. Really nice work today. I hope you're sweating because I feel like that just looked harder than it felt as I was putting it together. Zip up those inner thighs. Take a big inhale. Relax those shoulders. I'm sure those shoulders feel so good after that 13-hour flight. Lots of stretches in that back today. Big inhale here and exhale. You have about 30 seconds. It's a full minute. You know I'm watching that clock. It's going to end as we get right to that minute mark and you're able to go right in your child's pose. Know that you've been in it for exactly 60 seconds when this cuts off. Take your stretch, find your child's pose. Really nice work. Take another big inhale. Exhale, pull elbows towards your toes. Final little bit right here, about 10 seconds to go. You've got a big inhale, don't let go. 9 and 8, you're right there. 7 and 6, final 5. In 4, you rest. In 3, you rest. Last